But talk about kind of like a different subject then. Obviously, the same thing. That over the years, you've achieved some amazing things, like amazing like, awards and so forth. I mean, when you win these awards, I mean, how does that make you feel, knowing that all your work is being awarded with such amazing things like this?
Well, do you know what? I mean, again, really lucky. I think I felt really like there's some awards that like Livity have won that I feel kind of a part of, and there's some stuff, the stuff that I've won is lovely and great, and always like slightly, I don't know, embarrassing isn't the right word, but you're like, oh cool, I just do what I just do what
Yeah.
I do, but it's always really honoured, whether that's kind of winning an award or being asked to judging some young creatives work just a couple of weeks ago, and it's lovely. Those things are really nice, and I don't think a lot of people do, but would never take them for granted. But yeah, winning awards for Livity is brilliant, and often they come at really opportune times. Like we won a couple of years ago, we won an award from BEMA, which is the British Interactive Media Association. It sounds really long-winded, but they were really prestigious awards, and we won it for the kind of entrepreneurial business of the year. And then we also won their Grand Prix, which is
I
like
saw.
have everything, like the best of the best. And it come just at a time where, as I say, balancing, like the thing about Livity is there aren't really any other creative businesses that try and balance impact and making money. And I know why, because it's really hard.
Of
Like it's
course.
really hard. Like it's been a hard year for creative businesses. And for those of us who try and reinvest in both in time and in hard cash into something that's outside of kind of pure profits, just makes it doubly as hard. And so those awards had come just at the end of like a really hard 6 months, which are amazing, because you are just like, do you know what, it is worth it. All of the stuff that we try and do, and all of the compromises that you have to make, whether that's kind of personal compromises about salary or stuff like that, or just like going, right, there is a better way to do things. Like there is a better way. Like our industry doesn't need to just sell more stuff to people that they don't need, or to really try and do that. Like, and so those awards are like validation, and they're also amazing internal stuff for teams. It's really, it's nice. Everyone likes to win, don't
Of
they?
course, of course it is. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Would you feel that those were the kind of ones that stood out to you the most in terms of everything that you've achieved so far?
Yeah, the BEMA one I
Award-wise?
think felt really special. Yeah, it came at a special time. It was probably the first like big award that we won, with me being sort of CEO like a year into that. So that felt like, it felt like something. It felt like something.
Yeah,
And it was probably, as a lot of the time, the first time that people kind of went, oh, right, oh, Livity.
definitely.
And so yes, so that felt great. And as I say, our industry loves awards, but that one felt special.
I can imagine. Did much more come from that in the end as well?
We have a really good relationship with BEMA, who's the organisation there, and we do some interesting stuff with them, and with some of our platforms. I've made really interesting connections. So we've actually just at the moment got a new joint venture around, essentially our ambition is to replace the grad scheme in the tech and creative industries
Oh,
with a
wow.
partner called Hidden, and they won a similar award the year after, and so I'd kind of made contact with them. So it's a really amazing, it's a really interesting network of people. I don't know whether we actually got any work from it. I think often in our world, like, you get more work if you win a big, like if it's an award for a piece of your work, that's kind of different. But I think that is brilliant. But actually being awarded it for a business is kind of different. But yeah, it makes good connections, and I definitely think we brought the life and soul to that party that year.
Oh, I can imagine. That's brilliant. It's really well deserved. Really well deserved. I know that obviously one of your awards was the IPA Woman of the Year
Oh
award.
yes, that was
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I know following that you had the chance to go to Texas for South by Southwest to give a talk at the all
yeah,
SXSW.
yeah.
What was that like for you to go all the way to Texas to give a
Oh,
talk?
South by Southwest is amazing. I've done 3 talks there now. It's amazing. I mean, anyone
Really?
that works in the kind of creative space if you get the chance to go. I mean, my talks are probably the least interesting talks there. Like, I don't know, self-deprecating, but like, I went, like, it's not a cheap ticket to go, but if you get a talk, you get to go. They don't pay for your flight, but you basically get like a $2,000 ticket for free. So I was like,
Wow.
I hook up by crook, I'm
Oh
going
my
to get myself
God.
on that list. That was my main driver. I was like, I don't care if it's in the audience. But I kind of, so I've talked about some really interesting things there, but like what I found is like that. I mean, I used to live in Texas, so I love Austin as a
Oh,
city.
did you?
Great. Yeah, it's really
Wow.
pretty. But South by Southwest, like, I think I was thinking about it, I was looking at it last night, but I think at the moment they'll do it digitally next year, and tickets at the moment are $199, which is obviously 150 quid or so, which is not cheap. But if anybody could, if you're interested in the wider world of being inspired, I've never been so inspired by the times I've spent there. Like, there's lots of interesting, really big kind of keynote speakers, but just loads of serendipitous things about technology. Like, I went to one talk, and it was like guys from SpaceX, guys
Mm.
from what's his name? I want to say Justin Trudeau, but he's the Canadian Prime Minister. He's really famous for kind of under the sea stuff. And the talk was space versus deep sea. What's the final frontier? And they were
Wow.
like playing noises from like, is this in space or is this in deep sea? And showing pictures. And I was like, my mind is literally just gone and blown. So like, yeah, South by Southwest is just is a really amazing place for all sorts of crazy ideas and interesting people coming together to talk about interesting stuff. So yeah, it was amazing. I'd gladly go there, and also like drinking beer and tequila in the sunshine in Austin afterwards is not bad either.
It's not bad at all. I wish I could go now.
I have to say, it's like the first time I went, I actually, no, I brought my daughter when she was 8 months, and I was still breastfeeding, so my husband had to come out with her, and then I was like, I'm just going to go in here, I was going to do this. And then the next year was the first year I'd sort of left her alone, and I was like, oh, she's 18 months or so, should I go to America all on my own? And I got there, and I like sat on the plane and put the things, like, have a gin and tonic, please. I was like, this is the best 12 hours I could possibly spend. I'll just fly around a bit and come home back. Right.